What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Indie Comics Talk. I have a guest co-host tonight. So welcome in Cody from Keeping It Geekly. What's up, Cody?
Yo, I thank you for inviting me onto the show. I was very happy to get a chance to hang out with you and see things from your side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about in our Discord collaborating on things, and we're always like, yeah, soon. We'll do this soon.
Yeah, and I seen you made that post, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it now. We're gonna make this happen now. So
do it. And what great guests to do it with. We've got let's see, who do we want to bring in first? Jerome. Jerome Gagnon, letterer extraordinaire, comic book organizer, developer, graphic everything.
Oops.
Collector. Did you say collector or hoarder?
Yeah, collector.
Okay. Because I feel like my stuff could be called comic book hoarding. And with Jerome, the writer and artist on Dead Kingdom. Etienne, welcome back. Welcome back to both of you. It's been since we were talking about this book right here, Holiday Spirits, Volume 2, that you guys were on the channel. And now Jerome has his head on a platter on the book.
As it should be.
Thanks, man.
But tonight we're focused on Dead Kingdom, which has had 5 issues released from Red 5 Comics, and it was an awesome 5 issues, first volume. Really well done, guys.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Honestly, I didn't know the book would be that popular, and the review was gonna be this well reviewed by the outlet, and it's great. I wasn't sure how it would be received at the end, because I must admit the last issue was like a difficult take, because I didn't know there were going to be a volume 2. I didn't even know if the books was going to be popular. So I decided, how do you hand a first volume? Maybe there's going to be a second one. Maybe they won't. So
yeah.
So the way I approached it, I said I took out 3 pages that was supposed to be like a big setup for the next volume, and those pages will be like the first pages for volume 2.
Okay.
So
it was still kind of in question as issue 5 was coming out. You're like, do I get a second volume? And you couldn't leave it on a huge cliffhanger to the point that it was definitely like, we need that second volume. And then if Red 5 said no second volume, all the readers would be like, what happened?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, I always intended to end the 5th volume like this. I wasn't like, I didn't want it like Alice, the character, to be like the miss in distress. We're gonna save the girl, the princess is in another castle, kind of thing. So I just wanted to end like, okay, she made her way through the citadel by her own. She's okay. She didn't need your help. So
she didn't need the knight in shining armor to sweep her off.
Exactly. So yeah, it was a great journey for this series, and I'm very, very happy.
I should probably throw this where is it? I thought I had there it is. Spoilers banner up. We might be heading into spoiler territory.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, the book is out. It's finished.
I'm like scrolling through these. I'm like, why do I have all these like surprise breaking news? I mean, we might have some breaking news tonight. We'll come back to that banner. But yeah, a little bit of light spoilers in the discussion tonight. But yeah, from issue 1, I think you had sent me it to check out and review before it was released, but I think I already had it on my pool because I didn't know you, but I knew Jerome from Travis's books and all the stuff, and I saw Jerome posting about it, and I was like, all right, I'm definitely gonna give this a look and check it out. And then you sent it to me. I was like, okay, this is awesome. Sign me up for this volume because the art just really works well with this genre of zombies and medieval times.
Yeah, and
it's uniquely like perfect for horror.
Hey, thank you. You know, I'm a big fan of you know, I've been reading comics since almost, oh my God, I'm shy to say, but almost
come on,
almost 30 years now, maybe a little more, because I still remember the first comics I bought was like in the convenience store. You had that old rack on the corner with comic books, and I bought like the first comic book I bought was Batman versus Predator. You know,
it's a good book though. It's a good book.
It
I
was
gotta
an
get
awesome book.
I gotta get that skincare routine, man. I really love the interiors of this too, though. I loved how dirty and gritty it was in the beginning of issue 1. And then we're allowed to talk a little bit about spoilers?
Yeah, of course.
We're doing light spoilers, but
we're like, this is like the first like 2 pages, like where Mary gets her face like. I was sold. I was like,
just the prequel pages, right?
Yeah,
like the very, very beginning.
Yeah. But just gorgeous. I just loved how like gory you dove into it without just like overdoing it. It was just like a perfect balance.
Yeah, the thing is like pretty much the first issue is pretty much all dialogue. So I needed a hook. You know, I needed to do something like to just give the reader a little something, because the next 20 pages is going to be like, okay, it's a road trip, basically. So you introduce maybe a couple of characters. So that was the hook. Yeah, I wanted to come strong, and I wanted maybe a little bit to shock people.
Yeah.
But you know that's the kind of story you want to tell. It's raw. You know that there were zombies. They're not gonna. That's what happened. And I didn't want it to wait too long. You know, to show like the real origin is going to be told in volume 2. But still, I wanted to like tease it a little bit. It's not like a virus or a plague. It's there's someone behind all of this. That was important from day one.
Yeah.
To tell the story, there's someone behind this. He's not good at all. You won't see him much in volume 1, but he always behind the shadow.
There's like the one thing I was like, because like you said, we didn't know were we gonna get a volume 2. I'm reading issue 5 and I'm like, where is he? What's going on? How do we like? I need to know what this guy's been doing that you've been teasing throughout this. And
I was reading. That's true. I was reading reviews for number 4, like how he's gonna accomplish all of it in one issue. I'm not at all going to do that.
That's my secret.
Wait. Is this where I pull out the surprise? He's not gonna do it in one issue.
No, I'm not. If I could tell all the story like I want to, it'll be like a 5 volume. That's pretty much the outlet. It would be a 5 volume story. I'm still going to 4 to 5 issue per volume. You know, I want to take my time and I want to tell the story the way I wanted to tell it. I'm not doing like a Lost kind of thing, like all the answer is going to be at the end. There's going to be answer during all
along the way,
the journey.
Answers coming sooner than the end.
Yeah, and you know, I love those characters. They're fun to write. I love the character of Kane, who maybe is named after a video game character I love a lot.
Ooh, Legacy of Kane?
Of course.
That's
go.
That's
why it's Kane with a K.
That's why we got the video game expert on here tonight.
I might actually have that on the shelf. So, Jerome, I'm curious, lettering in itself is an art. Like, what type of mindset do you have to get yourself into to letter a book of this nature?
What kind of mindset? Well, I think I can get... I have the ability to get in the right mindset pretty quickly because we do with Travis and all the other writers that I work with. We do really different books. Like I do horror books, and I do the last one that we have on Kickstarter is a kids book. So it's
Flash it
very,
up,
very different. But
up on the screen.
yeah,
Where is it?
yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
there's
13
no
hours
zombie
left.
in that one.
Go check it out if you haven't already. Just throwing a plug out there for you guys.
But I don't know. That's a good question. Never.
Well, I could maybe answer that for Jerome, because the Jerome and I have been friends for a long time. We used to work together in the same company,
Mhm.
and he's been there from the start
Friends.
for Dead Kingdom. What did I say?
I said, well, friends.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know yet.
Frenemies.
No,
Maybe not. We'll see.
kidding.
So since the start of the kingdom, I used to show him some sketches and page, and even I used to send him the script. So I think he had that mindset pretty early on how he was going to letter it, because he's been part of the processes from the beginning, actually. And he always used to like give me some pointers. Okay, in that page, maybe just don't do that much background, because I'm going to put like that bit sound effect in the background that will do pretty much. And if you ask me, don't do a background, I would say, okay. Yeah, that's okay.
That's
One
less work for
background.
me.
One less background to do. That's good for me.
Save me some work here. All right.
Do I really need to draw all these horses?
Oh,
no, I'm
God,
gonna
the
cover them.
horses.
Okay, cool.
Just one.
Yeah.
There's a gag in, I think it's issue 4, when you say, well, we have to ditches the horses. Well, they didn't ditch us. I didn't want it to draw them anymore.
Yeah.
I love what like artists like to like do those types of little tricks to be like, you know what, this was too much to draw.
This is
I need the time. Let's get rid of that element somehow, but throw it into the story.
Well, to get back to you, Cody, I don't think it's not really the mindset. What I'm trying to do the best is to find a way to that the lettering fits well with the art.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's more like it. I tried to find the best type of lettering that will complement Etienne's art, and that it can be read. It can be read well, and it doesn't seem to be out of place. But when it needs to, it can screams.
Yeah, I was trying to find. I lost where I had the file sitting here, but there's one, because the lettering does have that like that vibe, like we're in the medieval times, especially the not necessarily always the word bubbles, but the
name of the cities
and yeah, all of those pieces. It's like, yes, I am in that time period right now as I'm looking at this, and it keeps you in the setting more. I love when that element's there, where it's like, this just regular word bubble and black letters, and we're in this like cyberpunk future. I'm like, that's lame. It's not bad lettering, but it's not great lettering either. And I feel like I've had this talk with like probably I think Blake before about just like lettering. There's those levels of like really good lettering that it exists and it doesn't take anything away from the story. And then there's the lettering that like someone didn't want to pay a letterer and they said, I can do this, and they couldn't. Which you don't usually see that in published books that are out there on the market, but yours is always at that like really good level that it adds something to the story versus just kind of helping the story along.
I really enjoyed the usage of your tales, like from your speech bubbles as well, like how they weren't always like straight. Like for instance, with Field Valley, like you have it like almost curving during that long panel with the tower, and I just loved your like your usage of that.
I don't like the straight tails or the
Mm-hmm.
like the straight arrow tails. I don't really like them, so I try to make them move a little bit so they can flow a bit more. It's just more dynamic that way, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With with working with creators that you've been working with, a lot more, do you take that extra step to say, I feel like even though you didn't say there should be this sound effect here, I'm looking at this and you need something extra here, and you make recommendations to the script at that point for things to enhance what's going on?
Yeah, I think that I don't think that there was sound effects for the zombies in the script.
No, it's all you.
Okay.
It's 100% you.
That at the end you're just like, hey, do whatever you want. You know what to do. You're awesome. Take it away.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My scripts are pretty minimal because I know what I'm going to draw when I write.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much know what's going to be in each page. So when I read the script, it's pretty much simple outline. Where is it? Where it's going on? I write the dialogue, and after that, it's like, well, undead walking.
Yeah, the script is pretty straightforward. It was like almost only dialogues. So
So with you writing, drawing, and coloring, do you kind of use that, like I'd say it's like the Marvel method where you kind of do one part, come back, I guess Marvel method with yourself, which is usually like two people going back and forth. But do you draw sometimes the whole scene and then say, what do I want to have them say during this? Or do you have that whole idea prior to really drawing everything?
Well, first I have what I call my big Bible. It's like all the outline, the story is like on bullet points. After that, I just, okay, this is going to be issue 1, this is going to be issue 2, this is going to be issue 3. Okay, that's the first volume. Then I take like each pieces, I wrote the script, and I try to maintain them in 22 pages. And after that, when my script is done, it's like what I did for volume 2 is like, okay, I draw all the 88 pages all at once. Now I'm in the inking process. I'm inking all the 88 pages, and after that, it's coloring for them. And after that, I send it all to the journal.
Okay.
So what's? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, it's just it helps me maintain like the continuity of the art. So suppose I just draw first issue and I color it. Then you'll see after that I do issue 2. I'm pretty sure there'll be like something change in the art. So when I do pretty much all the art, all the inking, all the coloring, all of it is like in continuity. It's all maintained that same quality in the same style.
So do you like to do things traditionally or digitally?
Oh, I mean, I'm 100% on my iPad.
Do you find that a little bit easier to do than the traditional style?
Oh, I'm in love with doing digitally. It's a time saver. It's easier. You don't have to just erasing and starting over. It's not a pain.
Save the trees, right?
And sometimes you're drawing and you want to use some image as reference, and it's much easier. Just like, okay, I'm going to get an image on the net, put it on the side, and just starting to sketching. It's so easy.
I think it's easier as well with Etienne as a young kid, and I think it's to manage drawing in the living room or something like that instead of locking himself up in the office. I think
it's more portable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
I'd say I was just gonna say, does it make it easier to coordinate with Jerome and send it over and kind of compile everything at the end?
Yeah, suppose Travis or need a cover, a rush cover. So I'll be like, okay, I'll just do it now. I don't have to go into my office or like set up the Cintiq or something. I can pretty much do it on the go, and it's way easier. So and like you said, it's always with me. It's like it's my portable office. Everything's on it.
It's got your desk that you're carrying around everywhere otherwise, and
exactly.
Plop the desk down, pull out the paper, start drawing.
Exactly, and it's not like little piece of paper. It's like big ones. You're like, okay, where can I work now?
Got a few.
Oh, nice.
Oh, now my.
But sometimes I do love to sketch on paper, just to. Suppose I do character design or something like that. I still love to do it on paper.
Some traditional stuff to throw in
there.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose there's a monster or character design I want to start with. I'll just scribble on paper. Okay, that's pretty much good, and I'll jump right straight to the iPad afterward.
Nice. Cody, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, speaking of character designs, I really love how each of these characters look, and the countryside too. I've only read issue 1, so I didn't get a chance to check out the other issues, but what were, some of the references that you used to create some of these characters?
Oh, that's, frankly, it's weird because I read so much comics and, we watch so much movies, and there's always a character or design you like or an actor you like, and you say, I see him as a character in one of my stories, and it's weird because in issue 1, and spoiler alert, he changed his hairstyle in the last issue. I wanted to do that at first because I wanted to show the time went by a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at first, I was starting to draw him, and as far as the story progressed, you see other characters with long hair, and I was like, okay, they're all going to look alike, man, at the end. They're all going to look alike. So, and continuity in characters is art sometimes. So I said to myself, okay, just draw characters, they'll be different in style, just the scar or the hair and maybe the nose. So the template for an artist is pretty much always the same. So you just adjust little things, but I think it's the way I draw. It's the way from artists inspired me. I'm a big fan of Frank Miller. I'm a big fan of Mike Mignola. I'm a big fan of Eric Larson. I think there's all of a little bit of those style and characters that reflects on my art. So it's like a melting pot of all characters I love.
Yeah. I like that like you use those like thicker lines to outline like the characters, their faces. Like it feels like it's more like structured, firmer lines on the characters. Versus like some people like I like all kinds of different art styles that are out there, but you'll see like sometimes it's just like this almost more abstract design on a character. Yeah. But like what you do with the really thick, firm lines, it works really well.
It's all that is, one of my favorite comic books is still Dark Knight Return, and I love how Frank Miller used to ink his art. It's not pretty; it's emotional. You see, when he draws it, that's what I want. It's like when you see that, it's not necessarily like pretty or delicate. It's art. It's violent. It's raw. That's what I like about there. And it's weird because my favorite penciler, it's Olivier Coipel, and he's completely the other spectrum of my style. He's opposite my
details and fine lines.
He's so delicate. All those little lines, very realistic, and I love his style, but I couldn't. I try, but it's not my own. I couldn't do it. So
it's not.
Sometimes you accept the way you draw. You accept this is your style. Don't change it. Just embrace it and work with that.
Absolutely, it's a good. Like you said, it's violent, more violent, passionate style, and that's the story. A violent, passionate story.
Yeah,
it works.
The thing,
I
Oh,
also
sorry, go ahead.
like. I also love his deep dark shadows that are really present in the book, like the
Mhm.
side of the face or it's thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
close-ups. Also a lot of emotion close-ups, and that is the journey in the book. That's why I love when we say violence and emotion. That's why I love issue 3 so much, because he's a character like he was born and raised to kill. That's pretty
Mhm.
much all what he was
Yeah.
made to do. And at the moment he was supposed to embrace that, he decided to go against it. He said, "No, you know what? I've been raised to be a killer, but now and I'm in front of my supposedly father, in a way, his father, and he decided to go against that."
Yeah.
And that's when those thick lines go in handy, and when you want to evoke that emotion and that violence and that opposition to what you're supposed to be.
Well, and I like that whole moral conundrum was teased since issue number 1. It was something like, all right,
Yeah.
what was it that happened at that battle? And now you're thinking about that as we go through, like what happened in his past. I almost, as I read the first issue when I originally read it, I was like, did he do something really bad at that battle? And then this guy's like, okay, yeah, I back your support. The captain in the first issue.
Yeah.
I back your decision there, but it turns out no, it was he made a probably moral high ground decision, and he's like, yeah, no, you're good, dude.
Yeah. And that's why he's such a great character for that kind of story, because
Yeah,
there's a lot of zombie stories, and I'm not judging none of them because they're all exceptional, but often it's like, what are you prepared to do to survive? That's the theme.
yeah,
Can you kill your neighbor to protect yourself? Are you prepared to to steal to survive in that kind of? And it works. It totally works because it's grounded. You want that kind of stories.
yeah,
Mhm.
But I wanted to go in the opposite way. I wanted to show a character that was supposed to kill, was supposed to be a soldier, nothing more. But in that kind of situation, rise above it all, became the hero, and inspire others.
yeah. I mean, he
Yeah.
got out of being a soldier and became a peacekeeper, and
Yeah.
then was kind of dragged back into fighting, and but more to protect than really to
To
fight.
fight.
He
Mhm.
doesn't want to do it. He's just trying to protect the people that he cares about, and then you know,
And
um,
you'll see that will maybe put it in some trouble in future
yeah.
issues. Who knows?
I mean, it seems like it's brought him at least by the end back to being okay with fighting. Um,
Yeah, he's okay to fighting, but for a reason. And he's
right.
not fighting human; he's fighting undead. So
He
Yeah.
wants to do the good thing.
he
Wants
wants
to
the
do
good thing.
the right thing.
There's a little that's all the question of morality. You see, what are you doing? Like, that's why I didn't want him to rescue Alice. I didn't want to fall into that cliche. It's like, in a way, she found him at the Citadel. So, and you'll see in the next volume, Alice is such a freaking cool character. I love that character. I love to write in that character so much.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I wish I could tell you more. There's Jerome knows a little bit about it. There's going to be more sorcerer. There's going to be
Ooh.
more big scale action. Each volume is going to amp up the stakes, and the story is going to go way further.
Yeah. I mean, let's bring out this banner because I know we've
All
we've
right.
kind of talked about it, but you said just before
Yeah.
today that you guys got some good news about Dead Kingdom going forward.
Yeah, The Kingdom Volume 2 is in production. I'm working on it. If everything goes well, there should be an announcement maybe this summer, maybe. We'll see. The trade is going to be announced pretty much the same time. But the thing is, there's going to be a Comic-Con Montreal this July, so we're going to print a small number of the trade as a Comic-Con exclusive. So I can't wait. I got so many ideas from extras to put in the trade. So
Yeah.
and the thing is, there was a lot of people that lost count wanted to buy the book, but the first issue went sold out so fast that some of them like said, "Okay, but I'll wait for the trade. I'll wait for the trade because I cannot get the whole story together." So
I'll see you next year.
exactly, I see you next year. And
Bring the trade.
When we did that mini Comic Con this winter, I had the second print of 1, 2, and 3, but we didn't have 4 and 5 yet. It was the same situation. Well, I'll see you this summer then.
Yeah.
And
I remember you had
the market is different in Canada as well. So
Yeah.
well, I'd say more precisely in Quebec, because I don't think we have as much as a big tradition as going to the comic book store on each Wednesday to pick up new books and order upcoming books and all that thing. So people were coming to the booth and asking Etienne, can we find it in stores everywhere? No. You have to order it. There's a number you have to ask your local comic book store. So for many customers, it seems like a lot of hassle for a comic book. So
yeah.
So yeah, I think well, he although he did great sales, he sold everything he had, but I'm sure that the trade will be a much more practical version to have for the Comic Con.
So people in Canada go more for trades than you feel like, because they can pick them up whenever, and
I think so.
Read that full story.
I don't know if well, the thing is we're in a bilingual province, so well, first language is French, but I don't know if how things are in Toronto or Vancouver, where
more English.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know how it works over there.
I mean, I know some people that do some YouTube things. I know they're picking up the weekly comics, and I think they're in the Toronto area.
But although there are customers that are really say accustomed to that, and they go to all Wednesday. There are, but I don't think there's as much as in the States. So it's a smaller crowd.
Yeah,
and there's less comic book store than it used to.
Yes.
Suppose you go to like big places like Chapters and all those kind of store, you rarely see like single issue. You see trades. That's pretty much what they sell. And for me, as a father who has less time to read, I'm more accustomed to read trades because I have the whole story. I don't have to, I don't have to be stressed of not buying number 2 or number 4 sometimes. And exactly.
And sometimes you go to your comic book store and they're sold out of the issue 4 or issue 5, right? So even if you go to try to buy, sometimes it's not always there. I'm curious though, how do you guys fight that? I know podcast helps you get exposure for your book, but are there any other things that you do to kind of help get the word out there?
Well, Twitter, Instagram is a great way, and it's, when people love it, suppose people love the comic, just, say it to other person, other fans of the genre. It's not easy because I think you guys know too. Indie comics, it's so rich. We have so much potential, but you don't have all the means to all the money to get that publicity out. So that's great. The thing we have that is the community. The community is awesome.
Yeah.
And with Kickstarters and all those other outlets, and you, Jeremy, that's for us is priceless because that's the way to us to get our work out there.
Yeah.
And with as much books out there from the big three, it's hard for indies, that's for sure. And it's all a bit new for us as well because well, it's his first volume. With Travis and Orange Cone, we are just Arlo. Travis and I have been working together for the last 5 years, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's been 5 years.
maybe more. Man. Maybe more.
And we're just getting
right.
in the market right now. So yeah, with Coins of Judas and
Awesome.
and in 2 weeks there we're gonna have Granite State Punk, and so with Kickstarter we had some options, some good occasion to sell store exclusive for some stores with Kickstarter, but I tried to approach some comic book stores over here and say, hey, it's a new book, it's on Kickstarter, you can order some, we can sign it, we can have all the crew worked on it, sign and ship to you, but it's a risk for them, so they don't know. Well, we're nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just the letterer, you know. So I'm not.
My shop even like I tell them about things all the time, and they're like, "Nah, we can't." No, there's.
That's
no
why cons are so important. But cons are a great place.
Yeah, but we're aware of that. We know what we know how it is, that it's more shinier to see an exclusive cover from Marvel or DC than some dudes in his basement with some boxes behind. You know, it's just,
I like the boxes though.
I think in that sense, you know,
nice aesthetic.
But we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just trying. We approached a store when last July, and he was up to do a launch for Dead Kingdom, but it fell through. They're in Montreal, but they're doing like every Comic-Con in the US. So so when Dead Kingdom was coming out and there was some delays and they were just gone. So there's so many things, but I'm trying to set some things with a smaller comic book shop that is open, that opened like last year, but he has a smaller crowd, so maybe that's something that we can set up and do some store exclusive for that store. I'm trying, to gather some interest where I can.
I
it's
feel like, I mean, the market is a lot more competitive now than it was 8 years ago out in the indie scene. Where I was talking to Mark London last night, CEO of Mad Cave, and he was saying when they were kind of kicking things off and putting their first books out, it was a lot easier to reach new people because the catalog wasn't so impact with so much good stuff in it. And now we've got a new publisher like every other week or every other previous catalog coming out with good comics, and it's really competitive out there now.
It also feels like if you're an indie creator, it's people have a higher standard, like a bar of approval for you guys compared to the other, the big two. Like I don't understand what it is.
That's a good assessment.
I think so. You might have something there, because sometimes I don't know why. Maybe sometimes the books we have to sell the books higher, so maybe people they got a bit of a step back because of that, because we do smaller print runs, so we cannot sell a book for $3.99 like people want. That's usually what the book costs. So
I mean, Kickstarter books, it's about not just buying the book, but also paying a little bit more to help create the book. Because you believe in the project.
That's it.
There's always that extra little bit. Now, there of course is probably a limit to where that cost goes. There's some that I've seen that I'm like, this looks cool, but you are charging probably double what you should be charging for a cover A on this. My wallet says no. But there's that expected amount that's over cover price of any book that you're going to go into the shop and find. And then, small publishers, I don't expect them to charge $3.99. Wasn't there a Mark Miller book recently? It was like $1.99 from Image.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, make it
Yeah,
hard for everyone else out here, but also
It's-
good on them.
Yeah, like the I'm not sure if they still do that, but I think they do. Image, usually the first volume of a trade, it's
Yeah.
$19.99, and I'm pretty sure they're not making a lot of money on that one.
Yeah, and I know when
I think it's
Saga,
less than that. I think it's like how much is it? I think it's
they
close
do
to $10.
I think it might be $14.99 in the States, which is cheaper than most
Yeah.
graphic novels. They're more like 17 or $19.99.
Yeah, it's a big difference from their competitors, and
Yeah.
I think that they're very close to losing money on those.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember if this volume's still doing it, but when Saga returned, it came back and it was $2.99.
Wow.
Which was like I think it was Brian K. Vaughan said, "Hey, no, we're coming back. We're coming back at the price we were selling at before," which I mean, it'd been so many years.
He probably forgot. He's like, "Oh, that was cheap."
Oh, I lost money on that one.
How long was the break for the first Sega? Sega's good.
At least 5 years, I think.
5 years.
It was probably longer, honestly. I didn't pick it up until I picked up the omnibus.
Yeah, that's awesome.
In like 2020 or 2021, but it took me a little bit to still read it. So I think it was 2020, and then I read it in 2021. And I'm like, why did I not read this before? Because this is amazing.
Everybody once says the same thing. I'm pretty sure.
I never read it.
I've never read it either.
Wow.
I did.
This side of the screen's cool. Okay.
I think this side is just as cool. No worries, Jerome.
For going back what you said about prices, the thing I noticed at this Winter Comic Con we went to is like every time I would sell one of my comics, it's weird because the second print of issue 1 was like higher quality, for the cover, and I put some extras in it, and I sell them pretty much at almost $10 for one issue. And it's each time I would sell one, I would feel justified to tell them why the cost was so high. And the wonderful thing is like people were like, "Hey, it's okay.
You don't have to tell.
We know the process. We know what the energy and time you put in there, and they get it. They don't. They totally get it. And for that, I feel very grateful, and
that's awesome.
That's when I talk about the great community we have. It's awesome.
Yeah, there are, of course, there's bad people everywhere, but I feel like the overwhelming majority of the people in the comics community, at least on indie comics side of things, are wonderful people.
Yeah,
who are just looking to have fun, creating something creative, giving stories for people to enjoy, and lifting each other up. Like I see so many creators repost each other's stuff, like, "Hey, go check out my friend's project. Go pick up my friend's book from the shop. It's coming out next week," or "It's on FOC. It's in the catalog," wherever it is. They're building each other up. Like I just saw a tweet today of I think it was Mario Candelaria, who I've had on the channel before. He was like, "Shout out to all these people who are doing awesome things." And then the response is all those people are like, "No, you're doing awesome things."
No, you.
Because of course it's a competition in a certain way, but I think that because you're up against others, but I think that mostly when you do that, you're just bringing people to buy books that maybe they wouldn't even buy yours. So if they don't buy yours, at least if they find some of your friends' book and they like it and they enjoy it, then good for them. You're just there to help the others, and
I think that
You're
think
you're
that's
not taking money out of your pockets by doing so.
I think
Yeah,
that's a great way to
exactly.
look at it. I mean, because if they weren't going to buy your book originally, you weren't going to get that sale to begin with, but your friend
Mm.
would have never had that chance had you had never retweeted that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And at the end of the day, there's just so many books that you can buy anyways. So, but if
Yeah.
you can get some interest to the people out there,
Well,
it
and
just
like,
works for everyone.
yeah, we were having a conversation a little bit about this last night. You know, more on I guess the publisher side of things is if you're building up all of the creators, even if the book's over at another publisher, well, you see them do well over at a different publisher. They also have books with you. People see that book do well. They look at what did that creator do? Oh,
Mm.
hey, they did this book over here too. Let's go check that out. And the same thing because a lot of these creators, a lot of you guys are collaborating with each other on different projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you've got the well, you both have this right here, the holiday spirits stuff. You've got more coming up for the summer special, you said, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And
Christmas
so
and July special.
So whose head's going to be on that cover?
Actually, there's more than one.
Ooh.
has my head ended up on the cover yet? No. No, that's just the burrito comic burrito guys that get their heads. I think they ended up decapitated on something. I don't remember what though.
Yeah.
Something Ignacio drew.
Yeah,
that's
it was a store exclusive for their podcast.
Yeah.
I remember it's an Orange Cone book. Which one was it?
I know. Was it
Voodoo Nation? No.
I'm trying to remember now.
I
don't
think
know.
it's Voodoo Nation.
I don't.
I
It
think it's
wasn't.
Voodoo.
It must be, or was it for Steak?
No. It's one of Travis's book. I'm sure of it.
Okay, but yeah, their heads ended up on some platters. It's like everyone's got to have their head on a platter at some point, apparently.
Yeah,
It's the new thing.
Yeah, it's the new homage cover is head on silver platter. Make it happen. Oh man, I did drop in the chat the link over to Red 5 Comics website.
Yeah.
If your shop doesn't have it, but I do see Dead Kingdom #1 is actually sold out on their website too.
Yeah, it still is. I only have one copy of that actually.
Hey, well, congratulations on selling out. That's good, right?
That was weird. That was very weird feeling, man.
It's a good
It was
thing.
because I was waiting for my copies, and I wrote to the guys at Red 5, so when I'm gonna get my copies of #1. He said, "Well, we have good news and we have bad news." And he said, "The bad news is we sold out, but the good news is we sold out." So no, it was awesome, man. It was I couldn't. It's like it's weird, man. And a big kudos to those guys because I'm an unknown. Before I did Dead Kingdom, I did a couple of covers and short story for Travis, and again, thank you, Travis, because he's the one who gave me my first shot. And after that, Red 5 read and they took a big chance with me because I wasn't on. Like I said, I'm an unknown, and they said, "Okay, we love the story. Let's do it."
Yeah.
And still, it's hard to believe, but I'm having a blast. I didn't know the community before, but now I know it. It's like you guys. It's so fun and it's so awesome, and the review was beyond what I imagined. So. What I can promise you is I'll keep up the good work and I'll deliver the goods.
Well, I do also say shout out to you for all of the cool images. I never expected to see my quote on one of those images.
Oh, I'm gonna milk that, man. I'm gonna milk.
I'm just like, this is so cool. And I guess I've been trying to write more and more reviews to be able to get word out about things, but sometimes I'm just like,
oh man, it's so fun.
I'm tired. I'm going to I'm going to sleep. But I think it was last week, and I got to sit and I just pumped out like 6 reviews.
Wow.
Wow.
Five got published. One I'm waiting for Kickstarter to get its pre-launch page up to publish it. But yeah, I was just like, suddenly just had this surge of energy. I'm like, I am going to write reviews.
That's impressive.
And yeah, no, it's those types of things that, like, though I want to say nice things about the books that I'm enjoying, but then like there's also that motivation, like, man, if my quote ended up on something, that's really cool too.
Reviews take a long time to do, so that's really yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and I'm like, everyone. Sometimes I get asked for like a quote, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna write a whole freaking review at this point. I'm bad at actually thinking about just a quote.
Pull quotes are hard too. Yeah,
like a pull quote is hard. So I'm like, let me write a review and see just what comes out, and then send you the review, and you can figure out what you like from it the best.
Yeah, because pull quote is basically capturing an whole review in a few words.
Yeah.
If I ever see a pull quote with one word, I'm always like, how did they do that? Like, I could never do that. Like, I always have to have, I always have to have something descriptive in there, like a couple syllables at least.
Amazing.
I remember
asking
Blake for a quote once, and he just wrote back to me, "Zombies, big axes, come on."
That's such a Blake quote, though.
I bet it works though. It fits perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like I'm just like flipping through, like, cause I just posted a bunch of like, I do these like images now for like the thing. So I try to put what I feel like is a good quote, so that it, like, can advertise the book just with the image if nobody actually goes and reads the review, which I know they don't. I know I'll see it get reposted and liked, and then I go like to my metrics and there's no views.
It's like, open it up once, guys. Come on.
You didn't even, it'll be like the publisher reposted it. And I'm like, what if I said, like, I put like a 9 out of 10, and then I was like, yeah, this book actually sucks on the side of the review. And they're just reposting it out there.
If you're watching,
Kingdom.
If you're watching, open those reviews. Stop and go open them right now.
Honestly, you're just gonna find even better words on the inside, because I can't pick a good quote. So, yeah,
it would be so fun to see Dead Kingdom. You mean dead interest?
You'll be as dead as the zombies reading this.
Oh, nice one.
No, you'll be as alive as Cain fighting the zombies.
So the word is out. If you want the pull quote, read the full review. Get it yourself.
Yeah, sometimes I find the right words and I put them into a pull quote, and they're amazing. But other times I'm like, I think these are the best words, and then I see somebody else pull out something else. I'm like, man, that was smart. Those are better words.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're my own words, but they're still better.
And
you said them, so okay.
For the first Holiday Spirits, we asked Blake for a pull quote, and he didn't knew how to do it at the time, so it was so long. We're like, okay, we're gonna pick that part there.
So for Trevor, I did one for Area 51, which was on issue 2. It was like my first pull quote, and it was like 3 sentences. He put it on there. God bless his soul. Like, it takes up like this much of the cover, but I remember like looking at that and cringing every time now. Like, man, just use amazing next time.
I also am like wondering, was like those quotes are just amazing. Is it taken from like amazingly bad? They're like, you know what? Amazing. We'll cut it there.
Yeah, we're allowed to still use this, right? It's still like 75% of it.
it's like Mark Wade or something like that. Amazing.
He said it somewhere about something.
He said amazing from his cooking show, so I can still use it. It was amazing.
He used
of
that word.
Him.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Blake, he knew that was. He said it's probably too long. Do as you want. But yeah,
I think I saw when I was messaging. I think it was when I was messaging you, Jerome. I was like, oh hey, I'd sent some quotes about. It must have been about volume 1 or 2. I don't remember. I looked back at them. I was like, yeah, these weren't great. I was still early in writing those too, I think, and so I'm like, yeah, no, those weren't.
Well, also at your defense, there's a limit what you can say in a quote that wasn't said before.
Yeah,
You have to be honest. It's always the same structure. Just own it. That's it. If it's good, just say it's good. That's it.
Yeah. Well, it's like I feel like sometimes because I only write reviews for things that I like. I'm not writing a review for something.
Oh,
that's
stop
garbage.
it.
You already had me at hello.
So like I sometimes I'm like, do my reviews come across as disgenuine and whatever the word is I'm looking for here, like, because they're always like somewhere between 8 and 10 out of 10 is pretty much my range, because
if it's at 8,
I
it's
only
an 8.
have time to write the reviews about
Yeah.
those comics that are 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and it doesn't serve anyone to write a review about a bad book anyway.
Yeah.
And so like I've had some that like I get requests. I'm like, I'm not going to review this. I don't want to say anything bad.
I'm gonna invest my time in something I know.
Now your entire
like.
audience is like going back, like, did I ask him?
No.
Yep.
I see. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the chat from a few minutes ago. I did forget to, before I pull that up. I did forget to pull up the image when we were talking about volume 1 of.
Oh, yeah.
So let me pull that up because this is cool. Thinking about like some of the, I guess, not movie posters, TV posters for The Walking Dead, it has that like the fog vibe that those.
Yeah, I do love my fog.
Emanate. So I love this. I love this this vibe coming from the cover. So awesome volume 1 cover there.
Yeah.
Using fog is always helps to set the mood.
Yeah.
And then there's less you have to draw in the background.
Yeah.
You don't have to draw feet. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So taking lessons from Rob Liefeld there, ignore the
Yeah. Ignore the one. They don't even exist.
Let me bring up the thing that Jerome sent real quick before we wrap things up here in a second.
It's not the full cover because there's some the logo isn't there. Just the part of the image that Etienne did. He sent it to me earlier today. So
yeah, so there's the slightly grainy version of it there.
Yeah.
But we've got zombie Santa Claus here.
Of course we do.
He's moonbaiting. Like
yeah. He's got the. I love it. Do you know what drink he ordered there, Etienne?
It's the Reanimator drink.
I love it.
Awesome.
I put some Easter eggs in it from all our movies.
That's why you at first it was supposed to be a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
So
you told me it was red, and you told me it's gonna be green. Okay, why? I didn't bother to ask why, but okay, I'm good.
So his design reminds me a little bit of Eddie as well, a little bit from Iron Maiden.
Indeed, and if you look closely on the spikes, there's Jason Voorhees when he was a kid.
Oh, this is beautiful.
You're throwing all kinds of Easter eggs in here.
Yeah,
actually, this one was a request from Jerome.
Yeah,
nice.
He has a small appearance in one of the stories.
Awesome. This is the cover for the summer special for.
Yeah, the summer special. It's the second one that we're doing this year. It's like 28 page. It's lot less pages than the anthology.
I think I have.
It's more like a regular comic book size, comic book format, and it's only around 28 or 32 pages. It's 3 stories only. And yeah, last year we did 2 story exclusive for the book, and the third one was one of the stories that we reprinted in volume 2. It served more like a promotional item for the second volume. And for this one, it's most probably will be 3 exclusive story for the summer special. We got one already done, and the other ones are currently people are currently working on them.
Great! I can't wait to see what comes out in this version. I do want to throw 2 plugs out there for Kickstarters that you're involved with. One being one that I haven't mentioned was the Tales from the Collective that Orange Cone helps put out.
Yeah, we're doing the production on that work. But this is the 4th one we're doing. We did the Halloween special last year, and before that it's the 3rd annual one. The idea in there's short stories from different creators, from some of them like Water Wars by if I remember his name correctly, is Timothy Fling. He has a book on Kickstarter. It's from a series he's doing. The others I'm less familiar with them. Zombies Were Human 2 was a Kickstarter, and it's now released through well, you probably know more than that than me. It's from
right now. I mean, it's Austin Janowski that's done it all, and it's his.
It's published through what Advent, I think. Is it possible?
Not that I know of yet, but that could be news that you know about. I don't. I know he has his own imprint. It's because it says Letters by Tin Sky, but I think it's Tin Sky Publishing or something like that. That is his.
Okay, probably
his like imprint thing that he does. But yeah, I know he's been doing different stories in that little world, so he's bringing it over here to the Tales from the Collective there.
Yeah, you're right. It's Tin Sky. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This one, the name catches my attention. Lich in the Kitchen.
Yeah.
This where it is. Yeah. I like that art too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun story, but I don't know much about that one, honestly.
Is there a lynch in the kitchen?
I'm gonna guess there might be. There might be a lich in the kitchen. That's some wild things going on.
Imagine
there.
Gordon Ramsay like walking in.
This is the zombie story. Lynch Kitchen. No.
Yeah, and the wait, no, that's the Lich in the Kitchen.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, these interiors are gorgeous.
Yeah,
and that's Water Wars.
So basically, the book, the purpose of this book is to help different creators to do some promotion and have them in a store location. So this is published by the folks at the Collective, which is a store in Florida, and they're one of the stores that helps a lot the indie comics community. They have a large section, a large bookshelf full of indie books, and they do buy books from different creators on Kickstarter as well to publish to sell them at the store. So they help a lot, and that's one of the ways that they figured they could help some more by publishing short stories from those great creators. And each of the creators, they have also you showed some different covers. So there's a more general cover, and there's like this one with all the featured stories, and each stories has its own cover as well. So
I really like how you guys balanced each of the titles for cover A. In that way, I think that's a really unique style to do that.
Yeah, Cool. Thanks. It was inspired by actually that's Travis that brought up the idea. He showed me an image, promo image for the Snap, the Marvel Snap game, and he told me,
Oh,
"Could we do that for the collective?" I said, "Sure, sure, sure. That's a great idea." So
yeah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it gives you like a style, like a taste of like the art in each one as well.
yeah,
it's cool.
it's kind of hard to do a compelling cover with showing like all the stories, and so you want each one to have to have enough presence on it, and so
Is
finding the right balance to show each of them.
is this one right here supposed to represent all of the stories? Looks like that's
Yeah.
So that because this would be the last story, and then this one tries to, like you said, it is hard to get all of the stories in there. Got the Lich.
The Lynch.
I think this is a zombie story there. So that must be the water.
And this one is actually a Batman cover image homage.
Okay, I like the
I think it's an homage to the poster of the last movie.
Okay, I like the old comic feel to the
Yeah, the Gambit did that one. He's an artist from Florida, and he's local actually from for the collector, and he does signings over there.
Okay.
From time to time with Travis, and
so
he's a great tattoo artist as well. So
if you're in the Orlando area, always go check out the collective. Who's putting on this awesome Kickstarter here with Orange.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It's pretty cheap too. So and for a cheap price, you get 4 cool stories, and you get to learn about new stories that you may not know and may love. So
$5 digital, $12 for the physical.
Yeah, and you can always get the previous books as well. There's a package with the previous ones.
Like
the first one, we had a sample from Voodoo Nation. Second one, we had Pop Van Winkle. And did we had a story in the Halloween? No, Halloween was other creators. Jonathan Hendrick was in the Halloween special.
Yeah, and then the one
in each book we try to get different creators, so there's always new people.
Yeah, I like that connection to the like you said, indie creators are always out there spreading the word about each other's work, and that's the perfect example of it right there. Speaking of spreading the word of work, we talked about this briefly earlier, but the most hilarious cottage cheese song out on the market. If you got kids, you got to pick this one up.
That's so cool.
If you're a fan of cottage cheese, you got to pick it up.
And this one was
not a fan of cottage cheese. Pick it up anyway.
What's unique about it? Well, there's a few things that are unique about this one. Is the first one is it's a sing along book. So there's a song. You'll have a QR code in the book and the kids can sing along while reading their comic.
That's so cool.
And the story is about Remy, which is that little guy over there, and his dog, which is his name is Jean Ralphio. And this is actually Travis and Heather's kid, and their dog. So this is Remy over there.
Yeah, and then I think doesn't the whole family take part in the singing or the chorus?
Yeah, and I think that it's actually Heather who's singing the song.
Yeah, and then it's Travis and the kids on the like chorus or something.
I believe so.
Look at this guy here.
Yeah, this is me with my schnauzer.
That's an awesome Star Wars beanie there.
Yeah, the same beard.
I think he's wearing a Star Wars shirt too. It almost looks like backpack with an antenna coming off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it?
It looks a little bit like
Oh
that.
no, but no, I remember. It's actually it's how'd you call those? It's a pack from Ghostbuster. You know the trap, the
Oh,
ghost trap.
Oh, the protein pack.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, with a Pac-Man ghost right next to it.
Love it.
So yeah, there's this is a Roblox homage, which Roblox is a sort of bigger Lego for kids. You know.
Yeah.
an addiction for kids. My daughter is obsessed with Roblox.
So this is what the books look like.
That's
The
awesome.
big yellow letters are actually the lyrics
Yeah.
lyrics of the song, which is super catchy and really it's like I told Travis, it's the next Baby Shark, that's for sure.
Oh man,
So
I
yeah,
hear that everywhere.
apparently Remy has a thing for cottage cheese.
Yeah, I've
doesn't?
played the song or at least a bit of it that is in the video at the top of the page, and yeah, it's fantastic.
It's super
yeah.
fun. There's a few activity pages at the end as well, like maze and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really for a young kids audience, and we
Just
got
12 hours left.
only 12 hours left. Yeah, we'd really love to get to at least 100 backers. The
7 more you
young kids market is super hard to get into.
Mhm.
It's hard to
Yeah.
get the book funded on Kickstarter for that audience because, well, you're trying to reach out kids through their parents. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah, no, it's
No.
definitely it's harder
you
that
need
way.
to caught the parents' attention enough to so they would get the book for their kids.
Mhm.
You got to do a viral marketing campaign so the kids somehow come across
TikTok,
it and they're like
TikTok
flipping through
dance.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clip of the song on TikTok and like Travis's kid doing a dance. I don't know.
Yeah. But well, yeah.
Travis doing the dance actually. I think that would be
Yeah.
more
But TikTok, would it be a bit weird for a 5 or 6 years old and last to be on TikTok? And
yeah, that's why I was like,
Fair
oh, okay,
point.
yeah,
I would have my concerns.
yeah, Travis doing the dance. It's more entertaining. But if it's a kid's song, it's like what was it, like the Wiggles and those like groups that would do the songs on the
Mhm.
kid shows. It's perfect. But yeah,
it's really a fun book. I'm sure the kids will love it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
absolutely. So
Totally different than zombies. No zombies in that one. That's for
yeah,
sure.
God damn it.
yeah.
What's the point?
I can we get a crossover between Dead Kingdom and the super delish sing along comic book Cottage Cheese?
Well, the
Like-
cottage cheese is going to win. That's for sure.
Or maybe you get
No
infected by
context.
eating the cottage
Zombies will
cheese.
start barfing cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you just guessed the origin of the plague.
Yeah.
It's the
Ah!
cottage cheese.
It's actually cottage
Cottage cheese turned bad.
this whole
Spoilers.
time. It was cottage cheese.
It was the cottage cheese.
The guy that looks like evil and infected and like
He's made of cottage cheese.
Made of cottage cheese.
He just ate some real bad cottage cheese. And,
That's not blood, it's cottage cheese. Just right.
Exactly.
well, I don't want to keep you guys all night, but thank you guys for coming on. Let the
Thank
people
you
know
so
where to find you.
Jen?
Well, I'm on. I always forget my
At
name.
these coordinates, in this place, no.
Yeah.
At, approximately 100 something degrees latitude. No.
Yeah. But on
I
Instagram,
don't know.
I'm Etienne _D1979. And I think on Twitter, I'm pretty much the same.
Dog?
I'm not
I think
sure
you're
anymore.
Dog on Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm #edog2. Wow. That's
Because it's
fun.
E-Dog and J-Boy.
Yeah,
Right.
J-Boy for 495. It's not the easiest handles, but
And original.
yeah,
I think I forgot forgot to add the links before the show, but I will add them after. So people watching later, they're down here.
Oh, hold on.
Post-production magic. They are right. They are in the description.
Boom. Just change it. Change my name.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's my Twitter handle.
I'm too lazy.
I thought you
I'm
just
too
changed your Twitter handle. I was like, wow. Twitter let you do it that quick? That's surprising. But yeah, thanks again for coming on. Thanks, Cody, for coming, co-hosting.
Yeah.
I know we've been wanting to do collaborations, so appreciate you. I have not seen Shazam and probably won't see it soon, so I will not be able
you're
to help
good.
with your collaboration.
You're good. You're good. I try to
tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I try to pretty much any new game that drops or any new movie that drops, I try to consume it if I can.
Yeah. So anybody watching this, go follow Cody at Keeping It Geekly on Twitter. Keeping It Geekly
across the board.
Channel name on Twitch, on YouTube, all those things. Everywhere, he's the same.
Just keeping it geekly, baby.
Keeping it the same. All right. And thanks to anybody who's been watching live. I know we got a couple people in here that are just quiet tonight. And anybody watching this later, we appreciate you all, and have a nice night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you guys. Is that a D brand plate on your PS2?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
a great way to